Welcome to the daily briefing from interest.co.nz. I'm Bernard Hickey, filling in for David Chaston. Today, we'll look at more evidence of a slowdown in the housing market and find out which regions have been hit hardest. We'll also find out about the latest warning from the Inland Revenue Department about using LAQCs. Remember, they are loss attributing qualifying companies for those who want to claim tax losses for living in their own homes. And we'll wrap the latest news from around New Zealand and the rest of the world likely to affect investors. New figures out today from Quotable Value confirm what many have been seeing around the country in the last couple of months. The housing market is slowing dramatically under the weight of higher interest rates and slower net migration. Quotable Value is the government-owned body that measures house prices and puts out figures monthly. Its figures calculate house prices over a rolling 3-month period, so there is some lag in the figures, but they're another measure to add to the Real Estate Institute figures, and now both are saying the same thing. House prices are falling. For the first time in years, the average sale price in the QV figures actually fell to $393,000 from $406,000 last month. From a year ago, prices are still 11.4% higher, but the rate of growth has slowed from 12.7% last month. QV reported it was seeing a softening of house price growth across most of the country. Spokesman Blue Hancock was quoted as saying, "The market continues to favour buyers over sellers. Buyers seem content to take their time before committing themselves to purchase, and sellers are considering reducing asking prices accordingly." Now, of the larger cities, Christchurch, Tauranga and Wellington showed the greatest easing in growth. Auckland's growth from a year ago slowed to 10.6% from 11.9%, while Hamilton eased to 14.5% from 15.8%. Dunedin, its growth dropped to 8.5% from 9.4%. It's definite the housing market is slowing, there's no doubt. But will we see the price falls experienced in Britain and the UK? Most market professionals say no, but we've never seen such high debt levels and so many homeowners under such considerable stress. Meanwhile, the Inland Revenue Department has launched a crackdown on property investors from two directions. Firstly, it is targeting real estate agents and has warned them it can open their books for information on who's buying and selling, so it can spot speculators who aren't declaring trading profits. Remember, the widespread perception is that capital gains on property investment in New Zealand are free from tax. But actually, if an investor is specifically buying and selling to make a profit, they must declare that as taxable income. The Sunday Star Times reported that the Inland Revenue Department is targeting the country's top 1,000 property speculators in a crackdown funded from a $14.6 million boost in this year's budget. The IRD says it was visiting real estate offices and giving presentations on the issue of declaring profits from trading, and it's warning that it could open their books to find the culprits. The second part of the pincer movement is a warning about using loss-attributing qualifying companies, LAQCs, to claim tax losses from your own home. The route is thought to go something like this. A homeowner places their own home into the LAQC they used for other investment properties and then records a tax loss once interest payments and rents are accounted for. Those tax losses are then offset against the homeowner's regular income. Now, the IRD has issued an official warning that they see this as tax avoidance. Property investors have been warned. This will be yet another factor cooling down the property market. And in news from around New Zealand and the world likely to affect investors, the New Zealand Herald is reporting that the finance industry is lobbying for access to New Zealanders' complete credit histories, including details about income, mortgages and credit card balances. The finance industry says it would reduce loan defaults and provide access to better credit quality for some people who are currently forced to use fringe lenders. New Zealand apparently is one of the only 4 countries, including Australia, France and Italy, to maintain what's called a negative credit reporting system, meaning that only negative details such as loan defaults and bankruptcies are recorded on a person's credit file. Also in New Zealand, retailers are getting nervous about a slow Christmas and have already started discounting, the New Zealand Herald reports. This is another sign of a slowing retail sector and one of the few signals pushing for the Reserve Bank to keep interest rates on hold or even cut them later the next year. We'll have to see how Christmas goes. Internationally, the world's financial markets are on tenterhooks, waiting for the Federal Reserve decision on interest rates on Tuesday night. The Fed is widely expected to cut rates by 25 basis points to calm a market still roiled by the credit crunch. I'm Bernard Hickey, standing in for David Chaston. Check in tomorrow for the freshest finance news on the web.